Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just give me one to finish up some stuff. How's everyone doing? Happy Friday. Hope your Friday's great. I hope you are about to have an awesome time this weekend, this Friday night and this weekend. I know I am. Got for 30 minutes ago. So I'm ready to relax. I'm actually going to hit the gym after this. Just do one final check. Just want to see how I sound. Oh, here how I sound. All right. So, unfortunately, like I said, we've been having a little bit of issues. So, oops. And me and Ardlee were looking at this as a learning process. On Fridays, if you want to see Ardlee paint, you have to go to our TikTok channel. The reason being is the OBS or the one of the platforms, the platform I use for streaming, for some apparent reason, TikTok has something weird. So I can't connect my TikTok a couple of days. I have to reapply because all of our social network stuff was on one thing, but now it's just a mess. So if you want to see Ardlee paint, you'll have to come onto TikTok on Fridays for her 9:30 show, and on Sunday night. You might be able to see it through TikTok on Sunday night. Yeah, you'll be able to see it on TikTok Sunday night, and also Sep on Friday morning. It's just weird. It's hard to explain. But anyways, I'm gonna try to fix it, and I can't find my glove. It's like how does Bilbo have it? My precious. Yeah. Actually, I use this since for the screen, like less oil and all this other stuff, like the glove of power and everything else. So yeah. So other than that, everything is cool. Just set up here. I just have to also have my reference. So I'm using this as a reference just for this part, this and this. I kind of like this picture. I'm going to use the colors in here also. For like sunrise and stuff. It's the color for sunrise. So yeah. So anyway, let's get started. So right now, I was sketching this out. I did like a color sketch on the stuff. Let's just zoom in a little bit before I get started. So if you remember this, right? It was pretty much the Pumpkin King and Krampus were going off to fight Santa Claus and see if they can win. Well, this here is the math of that. So also, I ordered this one and this as a metal print just to check them out. If they look good, I'll put them up on the Etsy page. Actually, they already are on the Etsy page. So I'll take a look and I will let you guys know when it's on sale for it. All right. So let's get started. So I did the sketch part, everything else. I wanted to start with the detail because I wasn't too quite sure how I want one. So let's get started. First, I almost forgot. We need some music. Also, because I'm using Epidemic Sound just so that I don't get in trouble by using other people's music. If anyone's watching this and they do live streams and stuff like that, let us know about this copyright when it comes to music, because I do have Spotify and I would rather listen to my music on Spotify, but I don't want to get into trouble. And I do other people's music, so I'm not too sure about it, so just let me know about that. Thanks. Actually, I should ask my friend Joe. High school buddy Joe. He's on here on Tik. He does streaming stuff, so I should ask him about it. Let's see what he says. Alright, let's get started. Let's see, how do we want to do this? Alright. So today earlier I was looking on Facebook before I got on here. I got off work and I saw about a game. I'm not going to mention the game, but it's a very popular first-person shooter game where everyone's playing online also. And apparently there's a certain, if you play a certain town where they put a certain famous individual who unfortunately passed away recently as, how can I put it? You know how you have the statues and they look like army men, if I remember correctly, or something else, and there's a lot of buses and this supposedly they put them in there. Yeah, I think it's like someone said, oh, they did it for target practice or whatnot, which I think it's kind of wrong to do that anyways. I'm not going to say who this person is, just for, so I don't catch any flack, because there are people who are, and rightfully so, about what happened to this individual. Try to stay out of that type of stuff, but when I saw the news, when I was reading it, I was like, oh. I was like, alright, well. So, right now I'm just adding some detail for the snow. I'm also looking at some So I'm adding in some detail for the snow, just so like once I start coloring it or doing the inks and stuff, it doesn't just look like and whatnot. I want So yeah, what else? So my week's been good. There's a couple of projects that I'm working on. I haven't realized I've said this numerous times, but if you're new to the channel, my day job is a surface designer for a wall covering company. So surface designer pretty much creates patterns and stuff for various for like wall covering, shower curtains, you know, just pattern, a pattern maybe for a shirt or something like that, or some sort of furniture. That's me doing that, you know. I've been, you know, coming up with the ideas, sketching out sketchbook, what you call it, pattern designs. I have done one, which was a koi fish design. I'll probably show it again in I think I have it for sale somewhere, or maybe I will put it back up for sale. I know I took it off, but I think I will drop it back for sale. And you know, that side of me, see that side of me creating patterns and whatnot from time to time. Not all the time, but you know, from time to time. Because like I said, all day you tend to want to do something else at night, just to break up the monotony. I hope I said that right. So yeah. So also, if you are interested in learning about putting patterns into repeat and whatnot, let me know. Maybe I'll do a live to put a pattern into a repeat, you know, just to give something to look at. You know, maybe you have someone who's in fashion, because fashion does deal with patterns also, and they want to see what it's about, see what is a surface designer and how you can use it in fashion. My youngest, she's going to the high school I went to, and they do have a fashion course there. So I'm hoping she asks me about that, you know, so I can show her like, hey, this is what you can do if you decide to pursue this. I think if you are going to go into fashion, and I told this to one of my friends, her at the time, his daughter was graduating, and she had a friend that was going into fashion, and I basically gave him some advice to say, hey, this is what I do. So if you do go into that realm, learn how your stuff is made, how it's printed, you know, because a lot of fashion people, me in the field, didn't know how things were made. You'd be surprised in the textile industry how many people who get in there, they do not know how something is made. Creating patterns, they actually think it's press F5 and you're done. Nah. Press F5, Control Z, copy paste, Control T, free transfer. You can do different things and whatnot. So that's how it really is in that world. It's not easy per se. So I'm taking care of these mountains in the background to show that some have snow on it, some do not. Just to give it also for depth. And whatnot. Let's see. What else? Oh, yeah. So, it's almost Christmas time. For some of college, they'll be home soon, or unless, they go away. So, that'll be somewhere, one of these couples to experience that long break. Because she's probably be like, wow, this is how colleges work. We're going to be like, yep, sometimes you have a nice long break, a long break of relaxing and whatnot. And I wonder how she's going to feel about spring break. I wonder how my nephew found out he has some very interesting classmates. One classmate from Croatia, I believe. And, he asked my nephew, oh, where are you going for Thanksgiving? He goes, well, I'm going to my grandmother's house. He goes, why? Oh, I was going to Miami. We don't do that type of stuff. He goes, dude, you should have told me. You could have came to my grandmother's house and had food. But the last time that happened, my mom was like, oh my God, they just ate, I said, they just ate food, and my mom wouldn't mind. She's like that, motherly and whatnot. As long as you're respectful and everything else, she doesn't really care, So it's been interesting to see. I haven't seen him in months, so hopefully I get to see him during Christmas break. Even though the advice I gave him when he went to college, his mother was like, I was not expecting, but your uncle. I ain't gonna repeat it, but let's just say, gentlemen, we know what happens when we crazy chick, and you can smell the crazy on her, and you're like, nah, wait, spend X amount of money on life's mistakes. yeah. Alright, I'm gonna leave that white. I think when I'm coloring, I do variations of color just to show the depth and everything else. So let's just take a look at this real quick. Alright. Alright, so I kind of like it. Yeah, there's my son. Actually, let me do this. All our stuff here. I just want to mark things so I know what they are. All right. That. Detail sketch. All right, so we got that, right? So now let's move on to let's do this art. So I want to pull this in art file. I mean the art thing because I'm doing it from here. I'll take my daily sketch. What I will do is I'm gonna start from the background and work my way forward. And do that because I think that would be easier. Okay, but what I want to do is I want to turn this into a vector. Now, I'm not too hard. So here's a little advice about inking. When you are inking, right, don't want you just to show what's important and what's not. So what I'm doing here is I'm using weight in the background, right? Now I'm doing that just to mark where everything is, because it's not really important, it's just showing the background. And I'm also listening to some Afrobeats in the background, you know, just to relax and everything else. I think Ardlee went to raining tomorrow. I know I will be cleaning out that garage because there's some leaves stuff and I got some stuff in there that I need to throw out. By the sound of the drums, where the rhythm begun. The rocks in the distance. Probably wondering, hey, why is he outlining it? Well, when I go in for the coloring, I know that's there. More than likely, I'll take it out once I have the rocks in there for the color and whatnot. So it's one of those, like, just think of it like a placement holder. Thing about the South Pole is they do have a lot of rocky areas and deserts. You're probably saying, huh? Yeah. South Pole has a desert. So one of the interesting facts about that continent. you know, as you know, I thought about this show the other day. I don't know how many of you remember this show, but there was a show called The Queen of Blades. Think of it as the female version of Zorro, right? And I forgot the lady who portrayed it. It was only like, I think, one season. And, you know, took place in California. I guess it would be before it became a state of the United States. It became the state of the United States. It was still under Mexico and parts of Mexico. And you know, they had it there. You had the one guy who played Kronos. I forgot the character, but he mentored Duncan. He was like the anti-hero, where you wasn't sure if he was actually good or bad. But it was one of those where like Mythos, like him and Mythos, well, not Duncan, the guy who was talking, the actor who played the character, old. So they were portrayed as being very old, one of the oldest immortals, and for them it was rare for that to be, because you got in the world of Highlander, how many immortals live over 1,000? No, they were like over 3,000 years old. They were old, so they saw, you know, things come and go. Hold on, now I got it right. Yeah, Mythos, played by Peter Wingfield. Yeah, I had to look that up and make sure I got it right. I like how he explained. They always, you know, they had the age-old question: what happens if you kill an immortal on holy ground? And Mythos said, well, the last time that happened, Pompeii exploded. What? He goes, yeah, last time it happened, Pompeii exploded. So just to let you know, when someone was killed on holy ground, the volcano erupted. And we all know what happened to Pompeii. So Duncan was like, oh. So he said, be careful about killing someone on holy ground. Even though with Henry Cavill's, that has to be shown. Like, yo, what happens if someone does kill someone on holy ground? Like, what happens? I think that should be shown. It shouldn't be just talked about like, yeah, this is what happened when this person was killed on holy ground, and you actually see the effects. Or something happens to the immortal when it happens. You know, I think that would be interesting to see if they ever decide to push it. It'll be interesting to see Henry Cavill's version. I know they already, I believe, the lady from Doctor Who and Guardians of the Galaxy to play his wife when he was in Scotland. And Russell Crowe was playing Ramirez, which I think that's going to be pretty cool. Even though Ramirez is actually Egyptian, he went by a name, but later on he went by Ramirez. So, and Ramirez, Duncan, was very old. And I also didn't know this part, that him and the Kurgan were mortal enemies for thousands of years, but neither one could never really kill the other until if you see the original version, which I'm not. If you haven't seen the original version with Sean Connery, interesting fact: when you have the deleted, they're not showing all of it because holding some of the film, and one of the scenes that was destroyed in the fire, and it was a fight scene with the Kurgan and someone else. So for those of you who watched it, when we see the Kurgan driving into New York, that's after he actually killed that guy, the Immortal. And they said it was a nice fight scene and everything, but, you know, unfortunately it lost in the fire. So you know, sucks when knowledge is lost, you know, whether it be by accident or on purpose, because like Alexandria, the great library of Alexandria was destroyed, which held knowledge from what they say in the world, from the known world at that time. And you hear stories like that, like, because people are so, they'll destroy knowledge just, you know, because another one area. So, you know, before all this mess happened, archaeological sites in Syria that dated back years, that because you had certain groups in that country, they destroyed it. They learned their own history because they thought it unnecessary. But that's enough of a history lesson and whatnot. Let's just get into this. The line work that I'm doing, here, I know it's not, I'm not going to leave it at so. I will make it a little bit bigger as I get closer. Funny. So also another tidbit. For some of you who may not know, you know, I do martial arts. So one of the arts that I study is shoot boxing, Japanese wrestling. The school I go to is mainly a Jinfen school or JKD school, right? To some that go who use that term. You know, so she's trying out the judo class first time, and as we, you know, so now we're sparring. First time for her sparring, I said, "Nah, you just go this distance." I was coming at her with a couple of kicks and whatnot. She goes, "I don't know how to defend against the kicks." I said, "What do you mean you don't know how to defend against the kicks? You know, just move out the way, or you know." So right after we had, I was teaching the Jinfen class, and I happened to be working with her group. So I was like, all right, folks, we're going to learn how to defend against certain kicks. So the hook kick, for those who don't know, the hook kick is also the roundhouse kick, or yeah, the roundhouse kick or hook kick, or now tuck, right? And you know, I was showing her that. We started off with that, you know, doing a low hook kick to the calf or the knees or whatnot, and then we worked our way up to or like calf, knees, and thigh. Usually for training purposes, if you do martial arts and you train, don't kick your partner in the knee. Just I tell you that, but you'll forget how you'll realize how many people would actually do it, you know? So it's rude. And also, if your partner is your first time, your partner is sparring, go slow. You know what I'm saying? Let them work. Give them a couple of tips and everything. You know, surprise them with something, but just let them know, oh yeah, you can do that. You know? So that's something. So, and then from there we went on to learning how to defend against side kicks. You know, I would say defend against side kicks is pretty much one of the easiest things to defend against when it comes to a kick. You know, because all you have to do is really pat it down. Use your forearms to defend, or go like this and whatnot. So, I would say it's one of those easy kicks to defend. Whereas if you're doing a hook kick, or a person can fake low and go high, or fake high and go low, so you have to be on the top of your toes to do it. I know whenever I'm dealing with someone who does hook kicks, I just stick to use for that. And I found that to be easy. It also depends on who I'm working with. So if I know I can take their kicks, there's a way you can like absorb the impact, but don't do that too much. You are taking damage. You know, they can come in at a weird angle, and next you know, it's hard for you to move. You know? So just be careful. You know. And also, you know, teach your partner. If you're advanced and you're sparring, you know, teach them. Use that moment to teach. Say, hey, you know, watch out for this. Keep your hands up. Move around. You know, don't move back. Lateral footwork, circle. You know, a lot of head movement. Fake one way, go the other way. Fake a jab to kick. Fake a kick to jab. Don't elbow your partner. That's not cool. You know, if you're going to do knees, do it in a nice controlled manner. Don't need nuts. The common sense stuff. Also, if you're new to sparring, I would say do a basic combination, you know, until you feel comfortable, right? So stick to your ticks. Sometimes a 4-hit combination it works out great, you know. Sometimes if you can come in with a 5-hit combination, that's good. Don't go too excited, might end up tiring yourself out. So 4 or 5 hits is good. You know, if you can just do jab, cross, hook, cross, that's a 4-hit combination, or hook, double up, jab, cross, double uppercut, hook, cross. That's a good 6-hit combination with your punches. You know, some that is good. Sometimes working on speed is better than working on power. You know? And timing. Timing is also important to work on. Timing develops the more you spar. You know, the more you spar, the more your timing gets good. I know when I gotta work on it. Hopefully the gym I go to, bags aren't down for maintenance. You know, because that's the only. It's like the gym I go. So by me there's two by me. There's a third, but I don't feel like driving all the way out there. So there's one that's like I take this 10 that I go to. The only thing is that one that I go to, that's an extra 10 minutes. They do not have, so I have to go to the one that's by Long Island Jewish. So I have to go to that one. And that one, yeah, if you go there, you know. I'm not gonna, you know. You know how that place is. It's like, it's packed. Like, I understand you're by the hospital, right? So you got the hospital people going there, of course. You know, it's in the complex. And so you're gonna get those who probably did X amount of hours and they want to work out, or it's their day off and they want to work out. No problem. But let's just say when it comes to hygiene, and I don't blame the workers for this, I blame the people who go there. Guys, it's not your house. If that's how you treat that place, I hate to see what your house is like. You know, and it's a little packed, but you know, like I said, because it's in the vicinity of the hospital. Yeah, of course it's going to be packed, especially that area there. That's a whole medical complex. So. Number 7 pixel brush, pen, just to add in stuff here and there, you know. It's funny, I was watching this morning, got a chance to watch NCIS Origins. It's when they're going to introduce Farnell, because I know they announced second wife, Diane. You know, if you watch NCIS, you know what happens to her, and a little bit of Farnell's backstory as the seasons, as it progressed. You know, I think for him, his storyline was what happened with Diane and then their daughter. Shown him since the character Gibbs left, so they're probably saying, yeah, his character or his story arc is done. So I think I'll leave this off for now. I don't know how that's gonna look in when you're inking, depending on how thick your ink is for distance. So, of course, I did this here and it looks like back there. So the back part I'm gonna have to redo because it looks too close to the foreground. So I'll do that last. Right now, I want to work on the middle here. Want to do though is still keep that brush add to it. Okay, now we're going to jump up because now we're going to start focusing on the middle part. So the middle part is I'm going to increase the pen width because that's the main part. One thing about NCIS Origins is that Gibbs is always sometimes talking about this female Spanish character. Why I can't remember these people's names is beyond me. And it's like he keeps saying the stories about her. Like something like I know at the end of the last season, you know, she got into a bad car accident and now she is in this. So we'll see how that goes, how that's going to turn out. Yeah, I think this is coming out pretty good. So I'm gonna leave for the gym soon. It actually should have changed. It's getting close. I didn't think about doing that. Let's see if I can do anything else. Oh yeah, and I think, speaking about that Highlander movie, I think Dave Bautista's supposed to be in talks to be cast as the Kurgan, which would be good because, not for nothing, if Henry Cavill's gonna be playing Connor McCloud, you need someone like her that's either gonna be that has to be taller than him, or the same height, but mean looking, you know? And I know Dave Bautista can pull that off. So it would be interesting to see. think I'm gonna leave it here. Right? Alright, I'm gonna leave it here. I am going to try to make some chain thing else. And then see what happens. Alright? Alright. Thank you for watching. Have a good weekend, and I will see you next time.